All right, so the player. Now, after watching this video, you'll most likely identify the most important pitfalls of that stage. And at the same time, it might even inspire you to get to that stage if you're not there, because it doesn't even sound that bad anymore, which is very, very cool. Obviously, also, I want to say here, this is merely an assessment video. We're not going to talk about the fixes in full yet. We will talk about these fixes later on in the Becoming Deep chapter. And here, we're just going to assess it and look at the most important pitfalls, etc. Now, here's the thing. The main issue of the player is the following. Number one, if you're the player, these are your issues. So listen up. Number one, you're reliant on game. You think you're getting all these girls because of the techniques and the shit you've learned, not because of yourself. You might have trouble opening up to certain girls. You might have trouble because you're feeling that you're too validated by sex, right? You feel like I'm only getting out of the issue if I get fast sex, and if that doesn't work, my game sucks, right? Whereas there's some girls who just need a little bit more time. And you have trouble keeping the girl. You might be able to get fast sex, but you can't keep them, can't have them come back. And you might even think that the player reputation that you've built yourself up is somewhat of a crutch. You think it's bad. Now again, not all of those need to apply to you, but these are the most common pitfalls. Now the positive things though, you've built abundance, right? You know what you want, you know what the girls want, and you've established some sort of personal boundaries, okay? Like, this is what I want, this is not what I want, this behavior is not cool, etc. And yeah, and all these are very, very great things. So let's look at, in greater detail, into the pitfalls. Number one, you're too reliant on game and not yourself. You didn't make really the transition yet to rely on yourself. You think you got all these girls with game, like just the techniques and this, and I saw this in the Julian video and the Max video, and it's just because of that. Whereas these techniques are obviously very, very great. They get you the foot in the door, right? But it's usually yourself, the self that you've developed with the help of the techniques, through these techniques. It's usually that self that attracts the girl. Okay, this is really, really key. On top of that, which goes exactly along with that, is you're having big difficulties, quote unquote, dropping the mask. I'll never forget that. I was really good with game already. I got laid a lot, and there was this girl I really liked in Vienna. Her name was Sophie. And if you watch this, Sophie, I love it. She ended up hating me because I could never drop the mask. And we would go out to like very romantic date. We've banged like for 2 weeks now. And she's like, Max, just drop the mask. Like every now and then I feel I glimpse into your real you, but just drop the mask. I feel like you're putting this face up, just be yourself. And in my head, I'm like, I can't be myself, it's just the game, right? So obviously we'll go into great detail with that as well. And what kind of goes along with that is you've seen a lot. You've seen a lot of bullshit. You've seen a lot of bad flakes. You've probably, maybe you fucked a bunch of girls that have a boyfriend that are in a relationship, right? You've seen a lot and you have trouble trusting girls. You're like, yo, hoes ain't loyal, you know? So a common misconception here is that you think you have to get to a level where you can finally trust, or you think you have to find that one girl that you can finally trust. But that's a misconception, yo. This is really key. Yo, wake up. Focus, because this is really key. That's a misconception. The truth is, you'll never be fully at a level where you can trust her. Not even where you can trust anybody. Not even where you can trust yourself. So it's not about getting to the level where you can trust. It's about getting to a level where you don't need 100% trust. Let that sink in. Getting to a level where you say, you know what? You never fucking know what happens, bro. I mean, take, like, as an example right now, like, I trust to a great degree, but not fully, that I'm the best choice my girlfriend could ever get. Same for her. I think that she's the best choice for me. Because I got game, I'm funny, I'm sweet, I'm fit, I'm healthy, I can offer her a lot of great things like traveling the world. At the same time, dude, you know, there can always be a better guy. There can always be a guy who's taller, that's easy, with even sicker game, who's even nicer, who can travel the world even more. You can take her up to space, motherfucker. Richard Branson's son, he can take her up to fucking space, you know? So again, like, it's never about trusting. It's always about getting to a level where you're like, you know what, but I'll be fine. Because if my girlfriend gets a guy that is better than me, I'm like, yo, I'm fine. I'm on my journey, yo. I can just develop. Sure, it hurts. It's gonna hurt, but yo, I'll be fine. Right? That's the level. as a side note. So let's look at the next big thing. Now let's talk about having trouble opening up, because here's the funny thing. Opening up should never fully happen. Girls love it when the guy is a little bit of a mystery. So again, the noob would be like, here's everything, all the garbage, all the baggage, blah, she knows everything about me, right? The player says like, yo, don't open herself up. Every time you show vulnerability, the bitch is gone. Yeah, you know, so again, like you might not even see the value in ever opening up at all. So you kind of miss the opportunity of being in a growing relationship where you can let yourself go. So as a side note here, we're going to get into deeper shit with this later. Weakness is perfectly okay, just a tiny bit, every now and then. Never do it fully because you'll lose your value. Offended already? Then you probably needed to hear it. Which is similar to the too validated by instant quick sex issue, right? We'll talk about this later too. First of all, it's totally okay to be validated by sex, to feel good, like when you fuck a new girl, right? But it can kind of be difficult when you feel devalidated if you can't close right away, right? You've banged 4 chicks the last week, all of them on the first date, you meet one girl that you really like and you couldn't close her, and it kind of nags on you and you think it's the game and you feel less of a man and shit like that. So you got to be careful with that shit, and this is usually a paradigm that many players get stuck. They would just give up. Like, I couldn't close the girl the first time, fuck it, right? They would like her, but they're so scared to lose that value that the girl would be totally down to fuck them, totally down to be into something more serious even. But now the guy just gives up, and the girl's like, well, he's not doing anything, so I guess it's not going to happen, right? So this is a big problem. Now, important, do not interpret that as if you want to be the guy who has the girlfriend, then wait for sex. That's bullshit. Like, many people are like, if I really want to have a girl as a girlfriend, I'm just going to wait for sex. That's bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. Relationships are built on sex. Do never ever think that just because you want to make a girl your girlfriend, that you don't have to fuck her right away, that you should wait, or even crazier, like making a hoe your girlfriend by not even having fucked her. That is borderline fucking retardation, bruh. It's really key. Both is fine to a degree. I remember my 3rd ever relationship or 4th ever relationship. I pulled the girl literally after 2 minutes. It was a 2-minute insta pull, home sex, done. She became my girlfriend because we just really liked each other. On the other hand, my current girlfriend, I think we had sex on the 2nd or 3rd date because she's like, hey, let's wait a little bit. I'm like, damn, fuck it. I don't give a shit. I'm fucking all these other girls. Both is fine, but don't misinterpret it as girlfriend game means less sex or any of that shit. Any relationship is built on sex. Lock that down. Now let's talk about the positive things as a player, because there's already a lot. Number 1, I mentioned it, you've built abundance, you know what you want. You don't live in this magical fairy dust dreamland anymore where girls are nice and loyal and it's just be yourself, right? You know what's up. You've fucking, you know the girls and shit like that. Now, by the way, we'll teach a lot of that here in the GG girlfriend game already, but I made a program that goes incredibly in depth with becoming that player, getting a crazy amount of abundance with the hottest girls. That program is called The Natural. You can always get it. Let's edit it in here as well. Just have The Natural, become The Natural.com. You also get $100 off if you have this program. You don't have The Natural yet. We have the coupon coded as well. You can always get it. FYI. Now, here's the key. Why first a player? This is really key because you're like, the girlfriend game, why is he talking about all these things like getting abundance? Why first a player? Why is it noob player boyfriend and not noob boyfriend? Well, as a noob, you have no idea what you want or what girls like, you're inexperienced, and you're an easy target for low self-esteem women. This is so key. Low self-esteem women who are all about manipulation, fucking the other guy over, just bait-eying him over and over again until he's a little cuck, and then fucking letting him go, breaking up with him, and fucking another guy or cheating with him, cheating with the other guy on you, and all these things. You're an easy target if you've never gone through the player paradigm. Because as a noob, when you're not a player, if you want to transition right from noob to boyfriend, you have something that we call scarcity. You have a scarcity of options, which means you don't have a lot of options. Now, being in a position where you don't have a lot of options will not get you in a position where you act from a position of wanting. In fact, it will get you in a position where you act from a position of needing. Does that make sense? And that's never good, as we all know. Being in a position of, I need the girlfriend to complete me, to feel good about myself, because I don't have choices, never good. No, no, no. Be in a position of the player where you have abundance, where like, I know what I want, I know what girls want, I got a lot of options. That's a perfect option, because now you're picking only the top-notch 1% of girls, because you're not coming from a position of needing, you're coming from a position of wanting. I want this girl, sure, but I don't need her. Make sense? Good. Now let's talk about the player reputation. And I mentioned it earlier before, many players out there are still buying into the mainstream narrative. They are getting laid and all that, but deep inside, the mainstream narrative is still, you know, doing the puppet strings, pulling the levers and all that. It's sad, huh? It's fucking sad. After all this time of getting abundance, deep down inside, they still believe that game got them the girls, right? Not their personality. And that being a player in essence is bad. Sex is taking from the girl, right? Like, well, the game thing, it helps manipulate women and fuck a lot of them, right? How many of your friends know that you're in the game? How many of the girls that you met, how many of your fuck buddies or girlfriends know that you're in the game? Many of us are ashamed about it. I can't show anybody the RSD videos. I can't tell anybody that I'm at an RSD free tour, at a seminar. I can't tell anybody that I've purchased a program. Oh my God, it's so evil. Right? If you're that person, yeah, it's because deep down inside, you're still ashamed of being a player. Isn't that crazy? But being a player is not a crutch at all. It's not a crutch at all. It's fucking crazy. Girls do love using this, you're just a player, as a test. I mean, fuck, dude, go on my Instagram. There's so many girls in that Instagram. Every new girl that I, like, follow me on Instagram, let's get in touch, she's like, who are all these girls? You're such a player. They love using that as fucking test. Even though they're thinking, this guy is fucking amazing. It's crazy. And it's the same if the girl thinks about becoming serious with you. Even then, it's good to be a player. Really write this down. Even then, it's good to be a player. And here's the crazy thing. Many times, the girl of your choice will make you feel like you want to show yourself down. She will give you every sign of show yourself down, drop all the girls, commit more. She will give you every sign, but deep down inside, she still wants you to be this awesome player who spikes your emotions, who fucks her well, who has a lot of abundance and all that. Every single sign will point to a different direction. It's the ultimate shit test. I've been there, dude. Trust me, brother. I've been there so many times myself. I've seen clients fail over and over again because the girl would give him all these signs, the ultimate last test. And I said, please, pass this test. Don't commit too much. Be a cool guy. Sure as hell, commit more towards her. But don't make it that the power shifts to her. I've had that myself. For the first time when I had that, when I kind of realized what the fuck is going on, I met this wonderful girl that was on my tour just before I was launching The Natural, I think, just before I was recording it. Really amazing girl. She was a virgin. That was the straw that broke the camel's back because I'm like, she's a virgin girlfriend, epic, right? So she was special for me. And she's just like, she knew what I was doing, so she kept giving me shit about it. And I'm like, baby, you're the only one. I'll quit the RSD thing. Yeah, crazy, huh? I quit the RSD thing. I'll move to your city, da-da-da. And I almost did, man. I didn't move to the city, but I went there. I shot a bunch of videos there as well and shit like that. But I went there basically just to see her, and she didn't even want to see me anymore. She went from, I love you, I want you to be the first guy in my fucking vagina, I want to be in a relationship with you, to not even picking up the phone anymore. And you see, that can even happen to the very extreme experienced player. Crazy, huh? And you know why that, let's break it down real quick as a little excursion. Why did that not work? Why does that not work? Because any shit test is basically a test for how congruent is that guy. Now, when you're a player, you come from abundance, you attract the girl, and now she says, open yourself up more, drop all the other girls, boyfriend, da-da-da-da-da. And you apply to that, right? You bow down to that and you say, you know what? Fuck it, I'll drop all the girls just for you. You haven't even qualified her enough. There's a discrepancy between the player that she thinks she is and the chilled behavior that you're all of a sudden displaying. So she's like, I thought he's this cool player guy. I thought he's awesome. Sure, I want him to commit a little bit more, but I don't want him to just do a 180-degree turn. Well, I'm not sure who this fucking guy is now. I thought he's the fun player guy. Now he's showing himself down. There's a discrepancy. I can't even fucking trust this motherfucker. Right? How crazy is that? Really think about that. So really, most importantly, understand that girls love the challenge. They love the challenge of the player. Okay? It's called the domestication of a player into the boyfriend. There's nothing better for the girl than that. And again, I hope all this talk is not depressing you way too much, because we will be overcoming this stage in the chapter Becoming Deep. Right now, this is merely self-assessment. If this is you, welcome. We got your back. If you think you're a model boyfriend, we're going to look at that right now, so let's go.